In the small town of Ravenswood, nestled between ancient woods and fog-laden moors, there stood an imposing structure known as Blackwood Mental Asylum. This ominous edifice, with its crumbling facade and barred windows, harbored secrets that sent shivers down the spines of those who whispered about it in hushed tones. On a moonlit night, Amelia Harding, a 32-year-old woman with a troubled past, found herself in the unfortunate predicament of being mistakenly sent to Blackwood. The mix-up had occurred when her medical records were inadvertently switched with those of a notorious patient, setting in motion a series of events that would plunge her into a nightmarish reality. Amelia, a fragile soul with a penchant for solitude, had recently moved to Ravenswood in search of solace after a bitter divorce. The locals, suspicious of newcomers, eyed her with a blend of curiosity and mistrust. Unbeknownst to her, the shadows of Ravenswood whispered tales of the asylum's dark history, a history that now threatened to entangle her in its sinister grasp. One foggy evening, as Amelia strolled through the town square, a mysterious figure approached her, handing her a sealed envelope. The contents contained cryptic messages that spoke of an impending storm and urged her to seek refuge within the ominous walls of Blackwood. Bewildered and afraid, Amelia decided to confront the town authorities, seeking an explanation for this eerie message. Her visit to the local clinic, however, turned into a nightmare. The receptionist, with a cold and distant gaze, led her to an ominous-looking door at the end of a dimly lit hallway. Before Amelia could protest, she was ushered inside, and the door slammed shut behind her, leaving her in a cold, sterile room. The room felt oppressive, the air thick with an unexplainable tension. Amelia's pleas for answers fell on deaf ears as the medical staff began a series of bewildering examinations. The more she protested, the more they interpreted her fear as symptoms of a deteriorating mental state. Days turned into nights as Amelia found herself trapped within the claustrophobic confines of Blackwood Mental Asylum. The staff, clad in white uniforms, moved silently through the shadowy corridors, their faces obscured by the dim lighting. Strange sounds echoed through the halls at night, whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the asylum. Amelia's pleas for release were met with stern faces and dismissive glances. She was administered mysterious medications that left her groggy and disoriented. The line between reality and nightmare blurred as she experienced vivid hallucinations that seemed to be woven from the fabric of the asylum's tortured history. One night, as Amelia lay in her cold, sterile room, she noticed a flickering light outside her barred window. Peering through the rusted bars, she saw a shadowy figure, barely discernible in the moonlight. It was the same mysterious messenger who had handed her the sealed envelope in the town square. With renewed determination, Amelia plotted her escape. Each step was shrouded in fear, as she navigated the labyrinthine corridors, evading the watchful eyes of the staff. Whispers guided her through the dark, revealing hidden passages and forgotten tunnels that crisscrossed beneath the asylum. As she delved deeper into the bowels of Blackwood, Amelia uncovered the asylum's sinister secrets. Forgotten souls, tortured and abandoned, wandered through the shadows. The asylum itself seemed alive with malevolence, its walls pulsating with the pain and suffering of those who had been wrongly confined. Amelia's quest for the truth led her to a hidden chamber where the ghastly history of Blackwood was laid bare. She discovered that the asylum had a dark purpose, an experiment conducted by a malevolent doctor who sought to harness the supernatural energies that permeated the town. The mysterious figure revealed himself as a spirit trapped between worlds, seeking redemption for the sins committed within the asylum's walls. Together, they uncovered a malevolent force that had ensnared the minds of both the living and the dead, feeding off their fear and anguish. In a climactic confrontation, Amelia and the vengeful spirit faced the entity that lurked within Blackwood. The walls of the asylum trembled as a vortex of darkness threatened to consume everything in its path. Amelia, fueled by a newfound strength, confronted the malevolent force with the pain of the unjustly confined souls echoing in her heart. In a blinding surge of ethereal energy, the entity was banished, and the asylum's oppressive atmosphere lifted. As dawn broke, the misty veil that had shrouded Ravenswood for centuries began to dissipate, revealing a town on the brink of transformation. Amelia, now free from the clutches of Blackwood, stood in the town square, watching as the first rays of sunlight pierced through the lingering fog. The townsfolk, oblivious to the horrors that had transpired within the asylum, resumed their daily lives. Yet, as Amelia glanced back at the ominous structure, she couldn't shake the feeling that the shadows of Ravenswood held secrets that refused to be forgotten. Amelia, despite her harrowing ordeal, felt a sense of responsibility lingering within her. The spirits of the unjustly confined souls had found a semblance of peace, but the town itself bore the scars of a dark history. Determined to bring about change, she decided to unearth the truth and expose the malevolent forces that had manipulated the lives of so many. As she delved into the town's archives and old documents, she discovered a chilling pattern of wrongful confinements, mysterious disappearances, and a pervasive sense of fear that had gripped Ravenswood for generations. The malevolent doctor who had conducted experiments within the asylum was but a pawn in a more significant, supernatural game. Amelia's investigation led her to a long-forgotten burial ground hidden deep within the woods surrounding Ravenswood. The graves, unmarked and overgrown with moss, held the remains of those who had suffered under the town's dark influence. A sinister force, a malignant presence that fed off the town's fear, was tethered to the very soil upon which Ravenswood was built. Guided by the vengeful spirit and armed with newfound knowledge, Amelia confronted the malevolent force at the heart of Ravenswood. The woods seemed to come alive with an otherworldly energy as she stood against the ancient evil that had plagued the town for centuries. The final confrontation unfolded beneath the gnarled branches of the oldest tree in Ravenswood, its roots intertwined with the town's history. The malevolent force manifested itself, a swirling maelstrom of darkness that threatened to engulf everything in its path. Whispers echoed through the air, voices of the tormented souls seeking justice. With a resolute spirit, Amelia called upon the spirits of the wronged, weaving their stories into a powerful incantation. The air crackled with energy as the malevolent force recoiled, unable to withstand the combined strength of the spirits and Amelia's determination. In a blinding burst of light, the ancient evil was banished, leaving Ravenswood bathed in the soft glow of dawn. The air felt lighter, the fog lifting like a veil that had stifled the town's true potential. The woods, once shrouded in darkness, now seemed rejuvenated, and the townsfolk slowly emerged from the long shadow cast by the malevolent force. The town of Ravenswood began to heal, and Amelia became a symbol of resilience and courage. The asylum, its haunted halls now devoid of malevolence, stood as a reminder of the town's troubled past. Amelia, having found purpose in unraveling the town's mysteries, decided to stay in Ravenswood, vowing to protect it from the shadows that lurked in its history. Years passed, and Ravenswood transformed into a community that embraced its newfound light. The asylum, no longer a place of nightmares, became a museum dedicated to preserving the town's history. Amelia, now an integral part of the community, helped others heal from the trauma that lingered in the town's collective memory. Yet, as the town moved forward, there were whispers of a lingering presence, a subtle reminder that the supernatural forces that once plagued Ravenswood might not be entirely vanquished. Amelia, attuned to the subtle energies that wove through the town, remained vigilant, knowing that the battle against the shadows was an ongoing one. The legacy of Blackwood Mental Asylum lived on in the stories told by the townsfolk, a cautionary tale that reminded them of the importance of facing their fears and confronting the darkness within. Amelia, with her haunted past and indomitable spirit, became a guardian of Ravenswood, ensuring that the town's newfound light would endure against the ever-present shadows that sought to reclaim it. As years passed, Ravenswood blossomed into a haven of peace, and the tales of its dark past gradually faded into whispers among the townsfolk. Amelia, now a respected figure in the community, continued her work in preserving the town's history and supporting those who sought solace from their troubled pasts. One chilly autumn evening, as Amelia strolled through the town square, she noticed a familiar figure, the enigmatic messenger who had guided her through the labyrinth of Blackwood Mental Asylum. The spirit, once tormented and vengeful, now emanated a sense of gratitude and serenity. It seemed that the ancient evil had been quelled, and the spirits of Ravenswood had found the peace they longed for. The messenger, with a faint smile, whispered words of gratitude to Amelia. As he dissipated into the cool evening breeze, a sense of closure settled upon Ravenswood. The lingering shadows that had clung to the town's history began to fade, allowing the townsfolk to embrace a future unburdened by the weight of malevolence. Amelia, although grateful for the peace that had finally settled upon Ravenswood, remained vigilant. The supernatural energies that had entwined with the town's history were not easily forgotten. She continued to investigate and document the stories of the asylum's victims, ensuring that the lessons learned from the town's dark past would endure. One day, as Amelia explored the renovated asylum-turned-museum, she stumbled upon an old diary hidden within the dusty archives. The diary belonged to the malevolent doctor who had conducted the sinister experiments in the asylum. Its pages chronicled the doctor's descent into madness and the ancient ritual that had bound the town to the malevolent force. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Amelia realized that the town's true liberation required a final act. With the support of the townsfolk, she orchestrated a ceremonial cleansing ritual, a symbolic exorcism to sever the last lingering ties to the malevolent force that had haunted Ravenswood. Under the light of a full moon, surrounded by the townspeople and guided by the spirits of the wronged, Amelia conducted the ritual in the heart of the town square. The air crackled with a potent energy as the ceremonial fire consumed the remnants of the dark past. Ravenswood seemed to exhale a collective sigh of relief as the town underwent a transformative rebirth. The ritual marked the end of Ravenswood's haunted legacy. The spirits, having found closure, faded into the ethereal realm, leaving behind a town that was finally free from the shadows of its history. Amelia, having played a pivotal role in Ravenswood's redemption, embraced a sense of fulfillment. The town, once a place of darkness and despair, emerged as a beacon of resilience and hope. The asylum, now a museum dedicated to the town's history, served as a reminder of the collective strength that could overcome even the most malevolent of forces. As the years rolled on, Ravenswood became a symbol of triumph over adversity, and Amelia found solace in the knowledge that she had played a crucial role in the town's salvation. The legacy of Blackwood Mental Asylum, once a source of terror, became a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dared to confront the darkness within and emerge victorious in the face of supernatural adversity. And so, Ravenswood flourished, its history rewritten by the triumph of light over darkness, and Amelia Harding, with a heart full of resilience and wisdom, continued to watch over the town that had become her sanctuary. The once tortured souls of Blackwood Asylum found eternal rest, and Ravenswood, bathed in the glow of a hopeful future, stood as a testament to the enduring power of courage and redemption.
Like, subscribe, and click on notifications that will allow you to stay up to date with the news and not miss videos from the channel, where there will be many more horror stories.